Hi, I'm Dave Robs with Poyo Project, and today we're going to be talking about aid versus sustainability. Now, while aid is an important thing, sustainability actually is a better approach, and I'll give you some examples. First of all, do we know the difference between aid and sustainability? So aid is when we actually give something to people in order to help them stay alive. Sustainability, on the other hand, is not just sustaining life for them, but it's actually creating an opportunity for them to own a business, to have employees, to be an employee, so that they become self-sustainable. They no longer need the aid. They no longer need the things that we provide. Now, in the last 50 years of the 20th century, over $1 trillion was poured into the continent of Africa. But in that same 50 years, the average income of the local African actually went down. And that seems like an astounding thing, and yet I'm going to give you an example of why that's true. I'm reading a book currently by Howard Buffett called 40 Chances. And in that book, he quotes a gentleman by the name of Dambisa Moyo, who also wrote a book called Dead Aid. And Dambisa's point comes from this. He is an African, he's a Zambian, he earned a doctorate at Oxford University. And what he says is that he gives a great example of someone in Africa that owns a business of manufacturing mosquito nets. Now, obviously, we know that the mosquito nets help reduce malaria and protect children and women and so forth. And this gentleman's business employs 10 to 15 people, and with those 10 to 15 people, they're also supporting, each one of them is supporting like 10 other people that may be part of their family, maybe other businesses where they're buying products, so forth and so on. Now along comes a philanthropist that says there's a great need for mosquito nets in this nation, and we'll say that's Malawi. So he goes out and purchases $1 million worth of mosquito nets that he gives to the nation of Malawi. Now, what do you think happens to the man that owns the business of making mosquito nets? Obviously, if the product's free, he's going to go out of business. So now he goes out of business, unbeknownst to the philanthropist. The philanthropist merely wanted to help in the problem, in the situation. But then in 3 to 5 years, when these mosquito nets are no longer functional, they have holes, they've rotted, etc. Now there's no one manufacturing mosquito nets in the region. So they either have to find another philanthropist or something in order to fulfill that need. Now what would have been a better choice for that philanthropist would be to investigate a little further and discover there's someone manufacturing mosquito nets already in Malawi. What can I do to help that business grow, thereby creating more jobs, creating sustainability, and in 3 to 5 years when those mosquito nets are falling apart, someone is actually producing mosquito nets that can replace the ones that were there. So one of the things that we like to work on at Poyo Project is how do we create sustainability? Obviously, it's more of a long-term commitment, and it takes a little bit more than just looking at the initial problem and the obvious answer to say, what can we do to bring sustainability, to increase industry and business, and thereby improve life in Africa that takes them from needing aid to being outside of that and being self-sustaining. Thank you very much for your time today.
Hear my clock,